What's going on, guys? So Marty back at again with your weekly Rust Skins videos, and we've actually got a really random and interesting looking Rust item store for this week. So we've got a continuation of the Opulent set. We actually have a decoy target. I don't even remember if we've gotten one of those since I've been doing these videos. I don't think we have. We've got a continuation of the X Point. I thought that'd be done, but it just keeps coming. A Glacial Visage box to continue from the Molten Visage. Continuation of the Retro Wave. Basically a continuation of the toy set. I think this is a different artist making this one, and we also have a continuation of the Base Breaker as well. So we'll get started with the clothing, and straight up we've got the Opulent hoodie and pants. Overall, I'm not a massive fan of these, if I'm to be completely honest. The knee pads on them look a little bit weird, they look too small or something, and overall just not a massive fan, but I do think that they definitely are a unique looking set of hoodie and pants, and I also do think that it does look pretty good with the Opulent, and so obviously that is going to be a pretty decent investment. They are going for $2.90, which is above center store price, and it has actually increased the prices of all of the Opulent stuff currently on the market. The metal face mask, the road sign gear, and the metal chest plate, and the kilt has performed the best out of all of them when it comes to increasing the most over the last 2 days. So overall, $2.90 for the Opulent hoodie and pants. I do think that these are an alright looking hoodie and pants set. I don't really think they're going to be able to be paired with anything else except for Opulent, so that is good for the rest of the Opulent that's already gotten accepted. It's not great for the Opulent hoodie and pants though. $2.90. I do think that you're going to be able to pick them up for a little bit cheaper with buy orders on the community market. Although at the moment they are currently third last and second last on the top sellers, so that is a good spot for them to be at, especially as a long-term investment. There is a chance of them being able to make you money, but they are $2.90. They are the only gold clothing items in the game that I'm aware of, so for that reason they definitely are unique. They can obviously match up with the Opulent stuff really well. So as a long-term investment, I'm sure the Opulent hoodie and pants will do fine. As a short-term investment, I don't think that they're going to be very good, and so what I would recommend doing is buying them off of the community market if you are planning on investing in them, just to make a higher profit by buying them when they inevitably get undercut on the community market. So that is what my plan would be for this week, and what I would recommend for you guys to do this week. I'm going to pick them up just because I want to collect them, but overall I would not recommend investing in the Opulent hoodie and pants for this week from the Rust item store. Righto, so we've got our continuation of the Base Breaker, and we have had the Base Breaker LR in the past, and now we have the Base Breaker AR. So that's the LR and the AK skin going for $2.90. The LR is going for $2.44 on the community market, and so currently I'm pretty sure that that has definitely lost you money, and at the moment the Base Breaker LR is fourth on the top sellers, so I do think that's actually a good spot for it to be at. $2.90. Most people already have the AKs they want set in their heart if they don't already have it, and so it does make investing in AK skins a lot harder in my opinion. And if the Base Breaker AR does get oversaturated, then I don't see its price increasing until a year's time. And so for that reason, I do think the Base Breaker AR is going to be a long-term investment, but overall it is quite a unique looking AK skin. I do think it's very well made. I really like it. And even though the LR isn't above the Rust item store price, I do think the AK still does have a chance. I think the LR will go up over time. The only problem with the LR is that there is 213 currently on the community market, and there isn't really a very high demand for LR skins. So that is obviously going to make it a lot harder for the Base Breaker LR to go up in price. I do think that the same situation is going to happen with the AK as well though. So if you are going to invest in the Base Breaker AR, what I would recommend doing is also picking it up with a buy order off of the community market, just because I do think that you can get one for cheaper than $2.90 off of the community market rather than buying it on the Rust item store in the first couple of weeks. Alright, moving over to the Retro Wave SAR. So this is a continuation of the Retro Wave set. We've already had the bow, crossy, and the sleeping bag. They're all above standard store price, and I do think the Retro Wave SAR will also be above standard store price. The only problem is the Retro Wave SAR is currently the second on the top sellers, so I do also think it's definitely going to get oversaturated, but it is definitely a unique looking SAR skin, and is also stockless, which we don't really see stockless SARs too often. I don't think many people are a massive fan of them, but it does make it look more unique. So as a long-term or medium-term investment, I do think Retro Wave SAR can make you some money just because of how unique it looks, and overall it is a really well-made skin in my opinion. So overall, I will recommend investing in the Retro Wave SAR for this week. I do think that there is a pretty high chance of it getting oversaturated, but I do also think that it should be a good medium to long-term investment. Alrighty, moving over to the Toy Blaster Double Barrel. So this is going for $2.90. My main issue with this gun is that it doesn't have double barrel or DB written in its name. So skin creator, Little Ranger, if you are watching this video, or any skin creator that's watching this video, please add the name of what the item is in the name of the skin that you make, because it makes it a lot harder to find, and that will obviously slow down its sales in the future, so it's going to make it harder for investors. But overall, the Toy Blaster is currently third on the top sellers for the Rust Item store, so that's not a good spot for the double barrel to be at. But double barrels are usually pretty slept on, and going for $2.90, there's only a few that are actually below the Rust Item store price for this week on the community market, and that being 6 of the double barrels out of the 30 that are currently on the community market. So overall, I do think that the Toy Blaster DBS is going to be a safer investment compared to most skins for this week, and it probably will be a long-term investment just because I do think it's going to get oversaturated. But overall, it's definitely a really unique looking double barrel, and in my opinion, it is one of the most unique looking double barrel skins that we currently have. So for that reason, I'm definitely going to recommend investing in the Toy Blaster double barrel for this week. Alrighty, moving on to the Decoy Target. So this is a reactive target skin going for $2.15. This is definitely something you're probably not going to see for a long time on the Rust Item store again. Overall, it is actually pretty cool because the other two targets on the community market are just targets. They're just standard targets, whereas this one is, as you can see, a player. Now the back of it has like some troll face looking thing on it. I think that's pretty funny actually, and overall it's actually quite unique. But the only problem is, ask yourself this question: who actually uses reactive targets? So I was talking to the boys in the donator chat yesterday, and Moise did mention it would be pretty funny to troll people by putting them up exactly like this picture actually, where they're all up against a wall just to trick some people into thinking that it is actually a real player. So that would be a good way to bait people out, and it would be pretty funny. But overall, I don't think that these really are going to have a high demand at all. They're going to have quite a low demand, and they are currently the 5th on the top sellers, so that's midway. Now, I don't think that's going to be a terrible thing, but if it does pass midway and go up above, then I'm not going to recommend investing in the Decoy Target, because I do think it will get oversaturated, and just because of the low demand that this skin will have, oversaturation definitely will kill this skin instantly. At the moment, the two reactive signs are above this price, one $3.42, one $6.02, but there is only 19 and 15 of each of those items, whereas this Decoy Target is probably going to have like 100 on the community market, and so it's going to struggle to stay at that $2.15 in my opinion. Although it is a pretty funny troll, so I do think that some role players and trolls will like to pick this up, but I do think that that minority of people isn't going to increase the prices to the max to make this a really safe investment. Overall, because there is currently only 2, it is going to be a little bit safer compared to usual, but I still don't think the demand is going to be very high, so it is still going to be a risky investment. So overall, I won't recommend investing in the Decoy Target for this week unless you are willing to hold on to it as a long-term item, just because I do think it is going to be a risky item. If you're willing to be spending a bit of money, then pick up a couple, but if you're not willing to and you don't have a very large Steam wallet, then I wouldn't recommend spending money on it, because I do think it's definitely going to be a more risky investment for this week, if not the most risky. So for that reason, I won't recommend investing in the Decoy Target, just because it is definitely a harder skin to predict the price of in the future, and overall I do think that it is most likely going to get oversaturated in the community market straight away. Alrighty, moving over to the Glacial Visage Large Box, and to no one's surprise, this is currently the top seller on the community market. This is one damn sexy looking skin, and it is a continuation of the Visage set. So we've currently had the Molten Visage Armored Door, the Molten Visage Large Box, and the Molten Visage Metal Door. So they are all stonks. Molten Visage Door going for $6.15, Molten Armored Door going for $10.86, and the Molten Visage Large Box going for $19.82. If you guys don't know what that looks like, those skins, definitely check them out on the community market. They do look like the exact opposite of this Glacial Visage box, being more of a lava molten theme in comparison to this ice glacial theme that we're looking at here. So Overall, $3.60. I do think this is going to be a medium to long-term investment, but it is going to be a safe investment, even though it's $3.60, and it is most likely going to get oversaturated. The Molten Visage Metal Door got oversaturated as well, 356 on the market, and it still made some money. I do think that the Glacial Visage large box is going to go nowhere near as much as the Molten Visage box, $19.82, but I do still think that it will make you some easy profits, and if you hold on to this for a year, then you're going to make a pretty decent amount of money, especially if you're buying more than one. So overall, I will recommend investing in the Glacial Visage large box for this week, and I do think it is going to make you some easy profits. Alright, and moving over to our final skin for this week, we have a continuation of the X-Point boxes, and it is the X-Point Stone box. So going for $2.15. I do think that this box is definitely going to get slept on this week just because of the Glacial Visage large box, and it is currently the last on the top sellers. So I definitely do think this should be a safer investment for this week. There is currently only 3 X-Point boxes on the community market out of the 12 that are below standard store price. So I do think the X-Point Stone box should be a relatively safe investment, and people are going to want to pick this up so that they can continue their X-Point set. I was expecting it to be done. It's not done. They just keep getting accepted, and surely charcoal is going to get added next. But overall, I will recommend investing in the X-Point Stone box. It looks exactly the same as all of the rest of them. It's just a different color and has a different picture, which is obviously meant to be a stone. And I do think that the X-Point Stone box should be a safer investment for this week. So for that reason, I will recommend investing in the X-Point Stone box. Alrighty guys, this is my cart for this week. So quick announcement, I'm also going to be doing a Glacial Visage large box giveaway. All you have to do is comment down below what your favorite skin for this week is, and the comments will be randomly picked next week. And that comment will be randomly picked out next week with the random picker thing that I use. So good luck to everyone that enters that. All you have to do is comment, and then you have a chance of getting a Glacial Visage large box. So just bought one of everything today except for the Glacial Visage large box. I bought 3 of. That's going to cost me $29.60. The skins this week were straight fire. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and remember, have a skits one.
Why? 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 Why?